Hi there, thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to be talking about my new pipe wrench that I'm super excited about. Hope your day is going well. Just going to give you a quick review of this. This pipe wrench has an aluminum handle and this pipe wrench has a steel handle. They're both 18-inch. They line up pretty, yep. So they're both 18-inch and this one is significantly lighter but also significantly more expensive than this wrench. And full disclosure, I do not have a lot of experience with plumbing wrenches. I actually have very little. These plumbing wrenches are heavy, so I may not be holding them up throughout the entire video, especially this one. This one does not belong to me, this old one. And the reason I had to come across using plumbing wrenches is because of freezing pipes and then having to cut off a pipe that had frozen and then thread it, all that jazz. You need a pipe wrench to hold the pipe if it's coming up out of the ground and it's in your yard. You need a pipe wrench to grab that pipe to stop it from rotating when you're threading it, doing things to the top of it, etc., because otherwise you can unscrew that pipe out of the lines that go in the ground. And prior to owning this pipe wrench and also using this other steel pipe wrench, I would just use vice grips or channel locks or a combination of vice grips and channel locks for grabbing pipes that had no nut on them, where you could use a regular crescent wrench or something like that. And it didn't work very well. And I had, prior to using these, and I haven't had an opportunity to use this one yet. I just got it yesterday. But prior to using these, I would use whatever I could get my hands on. Pliers, channel locks, vice grips, crescent wrench if there was a nut on the pipe or what have you. And then I used one of these bad boys, and it is a game changer for me. So if you don't own one of these and you're thinking about getting one, then I think it's a good investment. Made in the USA, that's awesome. I weighed these last night just standing on a scale. I just needed a rough estimate, just out of curiosity. And there seems to be about 2 pounds or 2¼ pounds difference. I don't have a fish hanging scale or a luggage scale to test them with, but the difference in weight between these is significant. One of the reasons why I wanted this guy instead of a steel one is because on my truck, I'm always dealing with weight issues. And I have a tractor on a trailer on the back of the truck, and I have an F450, and I have tools, chains, binders, tire changing equipment, etc., 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 on the truck. And I'm always running into weight being a challenge on the truck with equipment, the tractor, etc. So I thought, well, I need to start working toward having less weight on the truck, because that's just burns more diesel and costs more money, more wear and tear on the brakes, etc., etc., etc. And you start doing that across a lot of things, like not pulling a trailer, then what is bigger for what I need, not carrying unnecessary weight or avoidable weight in tools, and it can add up to thousands of pounds, especially with a trailer. And so that's one of the reasons why I was interested in this. But a pipe wrench is good not only for plumbing type things, but what makes it unique is that the teeth here can just bite onto anything that's round. And the advantage of that is you may have a nut that someone has rounded off and stripped it, and this would be a big wrench for that. I'm sure they make smaller ones. They do make smaller ones. But you may have a nut that someone rounded off, or maybe you rounded it off, and you need to get that dude off. Well, if you have a rounded off nut and you can't get your socket on there, and you can't get your adjustable wrench on there, then if there's enough room in there for you to get one of these, either a bigger one of these or a smaller one of these, onto that, to me, my experience has been thus far, it will bite onto anything. And because of the design of it, those teeth just dig in really hard. So there's that. And also, even if for some reason you just bent something on a trailer or on your truck and you needed to bend it back out, like say for example, if you had a minor auto accident and the fender is pushed in, against the tire, you could use this or other tools to get a hold of that and bite onto it and then bend it out, so to get it off so it's not rubbing the wheel, rubbing your tire. And so it can help you at least get down the road until you have time to do a real repair. Also, you might have a situation where a nut on the bottom of a bumper for the hitch is stripped. Those can get stripped easily. I've seen them mangled and marred and what have you, and then they can get rusted on. And you might be buying an old bumper and it has one of those on it, and you want to get that dude off, and it's so messed up that you can't get your impact socket onto it. Pipe wrench. Just open that dude up and it can bite onto some seriously large objects, that could be round. And I think this one goes to, this is an 18-inch right here, and this one goes to 2 1/2 inches on the measurement here. So it shows the sizes there, and it is significantly lighter than this guy. I asked the guy at the hardware store, the difference between, he said he sells both, a lot of both. And people get different ones for different reasons. Some people may want the metal one, the metal handle, because this one here, because they want to use a cheater on it, a short cheater. But you could potentially damage your wrench doing that. And people will buy this one sometimes because they have to carry it around. And, maybe they're crawling under an attic, or they're doing gas lines up in an attic, or crawling under a basement or a crawl space. And maybe they're on a ladder and they have to hang this from their belt loop. Can't imagine not having one of these if you have to do that, because this one is so much lighter. And the knurling on the adjustment part here is extremely sharp and really tacky, which is really good, because if you're doing any type of plumbing work or work in the mud or grease, having really good knurling on this part right here. I also notice that the teeth on the top part of this right up here are angled back a little bit, and to help you bite down on whatever you're dealing with, whether it's a pipe or something else, which is helpful. And I will say the teeth, especially on this top part, are really sharp. The teeth on this older pipe wrench that's seen a lot of miles are definitely more rounded off than the ones on the new one. And obviously, but I haven't had any problems with this one in the small amount that I've used it. And another reason why I have this one is, Lord willing, I'm hoping to put some yard hydrants in because of, again, the freezing issues that I mentioned earlier. So this will hopefully come in handy with that. I might get another longer one. That way I can have two. It's always good to have two of these. That way one can hold the pipe and then the other one can turn whatever it is that you're dealing with. But in summary, this is ultra lightweight. I think it's worth the extra cost to have the aluminum right here. I mean, look at that. I can just hold it. It's that the balance point, you know, is probably around right here. And this part just weighs almost nothing. And whereas this other one, I don't even know. Yeah, it's definitely not right there. Balance point on this one is like further down over here. But your mileage may vary on what works for you, what works for your budget. I just wanted to give a review of this. Super high quality, awesome tool, made in the USA. Looking forward to using it to install those yard hydrants. If this video has been helpful to you, feel free to hit that like button. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you again soon in the next video. Thanks.